are obviously talking about Donkey Kong. We're going to do Donkey Kong Country. We're going to do a comparison of Donkey Kong Country and Vector. So this is not my jam. I did not have a Super Nintendo when I was a kid. I was a Sega kid. But this came out in 1994, developed by Rare, which would go on to make the greatest Nintendo 64 game of all time and the greatest first-person shooter game of all time, GoldenEye 64. So obviously this is a side-scroller. It took 18 months to develop.
Yes, and actually this was in response to Sega's Aladdin game. So you'll find with these companies and these games, it's all a response to something else. So this was created as a response to their Aladdin game, which was really phenomenal. And then Vector Man was in response to this game. As you can see, I'm kind of playing. I had this game as a kid. And as you can see, there's so many different secrets and didn't get that one. But there's so many secrets and hidden things, and each level is replayable. I love this game. I think this game's absolutely phenomenal.
I admire its technical achievement, but I do not like playing as a monkey. So, what they did here, you're not allowed to exit with the...
No, I can't.
So what they did was they rendered all of the backgrounds and the characters in 3D and then scaled it back down and converted it to 2D, which is why it has that 3D look, that pop, and what they were trying to do was prove that you didn't need a PlayStation. And you didn't need a Sega 32X because you could play these awesome looking games right here, right now on a 16-bit system. So this was a way to, while the Nintendo 64 was being developed, it was a way to extend the life of this system. And let's just listen to this music for a minute.
By Shigeru Miyamoto, and if you know who that is, you've been playing these games, or you're familiar with Nintendo, he was Nintendo's main producer. He created Mario, he created Donkey Kong originally, but he did have a hand in some of the character design, some of the sprite design, and you can kind of see his hand in it. These character designs are absolutely beautiful. The backgrounds are gorgeous. Foreground, this is a beautiful looking and sounding game.
And you can tell that the level design is inspired by Mario 3. So this sold 9.3 million copies worldwide. It was the third best-selling Super Nintendo game, and it's still the best-selling Donkey Kong game of all time.
So this music was actually inspired by a recent breakup of the sound designer, and he felt like he was underwater. So you kind of get this very soft melody, this very smooth, you feel like you're underwater while you're listening to this song. It's really lovely. So this is a prime example of a boss at the end of each world or stage.
Just like Mario stomped 3 times.
Yeah, kind of. Apparently David Wise was the composer, and he was inspired by a 9 Inch Nails song, which I didn't know, I thought was really fascinating.
Product placement on that banana.
Yes. So you can already see this is in the second world, second stage of levels, and it already feels so different than the first group of stages. This is very moody, very cavern-like. Apparently it was inspired by Temple of Doom. So you can absolutely see that if
The
you
minecart chase.
Yes.
So Donkey Kong is gonna go save Indian children.
maybe.
So this is my favorite track in the game. I do listen to this just to sometimes listen to this. So, while my lovely wife is playing through this, let's talk about some other things that we didn't get to. So Nintendo at the time was struggling to keep the Super Nintendo profitable. Nintendo 64 was about to get dropped. PlayStation was out and was kicking their ass, and Nintendo for the first time, between competition from the Sega Genesis and Sony PlayStation, for the first time Nintendo was like, holy crap, we don't have control of the market, like we actually have real competition. So that's where this game came from, and it worked for them. It sold 500,000 copies in the first week, 1 million by the second week, 6 million in the first holiday season, and they don't track it anymore, but 9.3 million copies sold. This game still is a seller on the used market. GamePro rated it the best graphical achievement. 1995 Kids' Choice Award. Fuck them kids.
Hey, those kids got taste.
Again, I love the music. I love the graphics. I love the movement. I just cannot get over the fact that you're playing as punchy monkeys.
Look how cute they are.
I know, it's not my thing. I'm a Sega guy. We'll get to my thing in a minute. But the animation on that flame, that's pretty. And then his movement, his facial expression there.
Right. I think his original name was it Dinky? I think Diddy's original name was Dinky. I'm kind of glad they changed it because that would be a step too far for you, I think.
Yes it would. So let's talk about stuff that you don't have in your notes here. How are the controls?
Oh, it's fantastic. It's smooth. It flows, and that was something that the game designers purposely did. They wanted it to flow. Oops, as I died. They
Flow
wanted
like
it.
fucking Sonic.
They wanted the game to flow for people who speedrunning wasn't a thing in 1994 like it is now, but they wanted to give it that for experienced players could just shoot through levels if you wanted to. So I thought that that was really interesting. But it's difficult. It can be very, very challenging.
Alright, so smooth controls, great graphics, fantastic animations. I like that you can save. My rating is still 4 out of 10 because I just don't like the world or the world building. I don't like playing as monkeys, but I recognize its incredible technical achievement.
You got a glimpse of the overall world map, but each of these worlds feel different. The music is different in each one. It's not the same type of music.
There's a vulture in the high mountains for some reason.
Well, there are all of these little side games and mini quests, and there's hidden things in hidden rooms. It's really a very big game, even if it doesn't really.
Alright, so what's your final rating on Donkey Kong Country?
I'm very tempted to give it a perfect score, but I can't because it is incredibly difficult. I don't know, like 9.5. Like, I love this game. I could pick this one up and just absolutely enjoy playing for a half hour, for an hour. It really genuinely is enjoyable.
So still worth playing.
Oh, 100%. If you've never played it, this is absolutely one to have in a Super Nintendo collection.
And we play on original hardware.
And if you
So
no emulating for us.
no re-releases on different systems. But if that's how you can play it, by all means, play it.
Absolutely play it.
Now, let's move on.